Loyalty to me is when we make a sacrifice for those whose upkeeping is within our control to put up. And that's for all of us to think. We can all improve the condition of those around us if we have loyalty in our hearts, beyond ourselves. Loyalty is a very funny word. Loyalty to yourself is just selfishness. But when you have loyalty for another, it's selflessness. We have to learn to stand with our people. And we're constantly being told of reasons from those that are nindaks as to why we shouldn't. And they complicate the situation because they enter your mind and they give you all the reasons why you should stay away from Satta and Balwand. Satta and Balwand are all of us making mistakes. It's funny how we remember everybody's mistakes and have a reason to blank them, to knock them, not to support them. We don't remember anybody's victories or small efforts, and how we should stand with those reasons as opposed to the negative ones. If you agree with someone in the Panth, 6 out of 10, back them 10 out of 10. There's someone in the Panth trying to do something. It's not quite where you want to be or what you think should be happening. Give them your 10, because from that, something even more beautiful is created. Beyond their efforts, beyond that person, beyond your support and your person. In English, it's 1 and 1 is 2. But in Punjabi, when we say when 1 and 1 come together, the force of that is 11. We're loyal only to the worst aspects of each other. We make sure that we're loyal to that, to the point that the gata is always renewed. Why? Who are we serving? परम सत्कारयोग गुरु खालसा साध संगत जी गज बज के फतेह बुलाओ वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह. We're all blessed to be in the Sadh Sangat. Guru Maharaj explains to us, they say Jan ke charan vasse mere heere sank panita tehi Jan ki tur deho kirpane de nanak ke sukh ehi. They explain this to us. They say that if I was lucky enough, says Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, to sit in the Sangat, Jan ke charan vasse mere heere, I would take the feet of those that are lucky enough to bow before the Guru. I would take their feet, and what would I do? I would install them in my heart. Vasse mera heere, says the Guru. And in this way, Sang Panita, by having the Sangat of the feet of the Sangat of the Guru, by having the company of those, by having the company of the feet of those that sit before the Guru, Sang Panita, the Guru says, by installing that love in your heart, the Guru says, my own condition would become pavitr. Jan ke charan vasse mere heere sang panita dehi jan ki tur deho kirpa nid nanak ke sukh ehi. In this way, says Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, as we begin this divan, as we have this chance to sit together, to share the teachings, the Guru says, I would take the dust of the feet of those Sangat. And this is the only asara, this is the only desire that I have. Says the king of all the Shaheeds, Shaheed Nanda Sartaj Sahib Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, the one who has no fear, who sat on the Tatti Tavi, who would rather have their body ripped to pieces, the flesh ripped from their body, than give up their dharam, or to change Gurbani as they were being asked to do, to reflect upon Islam more favourably. The Guru says no. The Guru teaches us the limits of courage and beyond. The Guru teaches us what it means to be completely humble and completely devout and loyal. And as we have the chance to begin this divan, the subject today which we're going to be talking about is that one who is Wafadari, that one who has the characteristics of loyalty in their heart. And they will give us these teachings, and this topic of loyalty comes to my mind. How was it that Guru Sahib would approach the house of the Guru? It was really interesting. Every day I was very fortunate to have a chance to bring Gyani Ji to the Gurdwara every day. And their adita, their daily routines, their habits, are so much we can learn from these things in terms of the characteristics of what a person is, what virtue there is. And every day Gyani would come to the Gurdwara, before they would come in through those blue double doors downstairs, before they would make their way into their Jorekar and leave their shoes in the Sangat's dust, they would take off those shoes and they would walk nange pair, they would walk barefooted to the Nishan Sahib, where they would place their head upon the Nishan Sahib. They would place, in my opinion, the way that I would interpret that moment, they would place their honor before the Nishan Sahib, and they would do a parikrama of the Nishan Sahib. Now, what is it that we can take from this Nishan Sahib that Gyani Hari Singh Ji is trying to teach me, trying to teach all of us as we have this chance to look upon their actions? If we just look at the Nishan Sahib, what is it, the characteristics, what is the characteristics of this Nishan Sahib that we perhaps need to learn from What is the characteristics that are perhaps wavering in this dark age of Kaljug that we can look at the Nishan Sahib and take the Sikhya with? The Nishan Sahib is calling out into the sky. It's completely unwavering. Come wind, come rain, come shine. The Nishan Sahib is there as that tool, as a navigation tool, calling out to all of us, because the Nishan Sahib serves one purpose, and that is the feet of the Guru. The Nishan Sahib is saying to the Sangat of this world, to the whole dunya, my job is to bring you to an understanding that this is the house of the Guru, and I will never waver in that endeavor. The Nishan Sahib is there, completely devout, single-minded and focused. You'll never see the Nishan Sahib flying a half-mast, like the flags of this world. You'll never see a Nishan Sahib taking on a different umbrella for a different day. Forever and always, the Nishan Sahib is directing its purpose from its Guru, drawing its purpose from its Guru, and directing its purpose towards the Sangat. And Sant Janel Singh Ji Khalsa Pindranwale, they do a katha about the Nishan Sahib, about the qualities of this beautiful, beautiful Nishani of the Guru's house. And they explain that the Nishan Sahib is forever and always calling out to those that may be waylaid in this world to say, come home. This is your house. This is where the house of the Guru is. The Nishan Sahib is flying across the flat plains of the Punjab, and from high 30, 40 meters in the high, you can see these Nishan Sahibs flying, and they're calling out to all of us saying, come home. And you're thinking, well, I don't need a Nishan Sahib. I've got iPhone maps. I've got Google Maps. I've got Waze. With all due respect, in today's day and age, we might think in this way, the technology is there, that the Nishan Sahib, the way that it was being serving us before, that purpose has no utility. No. You see, Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, there's a whole world of people out there that knows where the Guru Ghar is. But because of the actions of their lives before, they feel like they're lost in the world. How are they going to find their way back, metaphorically, spiritually speaking, to the Guru's house? And in this way, the Nishan Sahib calls out to us still. The Nishan Sahib calls out to us still to say that if you want to find your house of the Guru's house is open to you. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about what it means to be a wafadari. What it means to be completely loyal to those. And I think this is a topic perhaps which we don't speak about as often as we should. When it comes to us looking for a partner in this world, we would all want that person who's loyal. And yet we're not talking about fostering these qualities in our youngsters. How often does the word loyalty come up at the breakfast table? We would always want for our youngest, as they get as our young nephews and nieces, as our children get older, as they are progressing in this world, that they join teams that will be loyal to them, that they have partners in business and in this worldly sense, as they join together to make families, that there's loyalty in those houses. And yet these qualities we're not looking to foster. We're not talking about these qualities, the gun of this quality, the virtue of this quality. And without speaking about these, where is it that we're expecting our generations to have these teachings? So we come here to do the Gatha, to have these teachings from the Guru's Itihas, that if we can learn about these qualities, then we can know what we should be looking for. It's really interesting. Guru Maharaj explains to us in their own Ardasa, Guru Govind Kirpa Kari Rakhya Mera Pai. Says the Guru in their own words. They say, Guru Govinda Kripa Kari Rakhya Mera Pai. We can take from the grammar of this Pankti, Kari and Rakhya in the past tense. So when Guru Sahib saying Guru Govinda Kripa Kari Rakhya Mera Pai, Guru Sahib's talking about the past tense. They're talking about a prayer that they've made, and they're talking about Kirpa having been undertaken. In other words, the way that we put it in the world, we say that my prayers have been answered. But what is Guru Sahib saying here really interestingly? They say, Guru Govind Kripa Kari Rakhya Mera Pai. But you've done Kirpa by answering the prayers of my brother. Sometimes the subtlety and the beauty of these teachings can be lost as we skip past them. But I was talking to an older Gurmukh, one who I've learned so much from, Bhai Amandeep Singh Ji from Leicester. He's got an older brother, and whenever I get stuck on something, I phone him up or I message him. So shout out to Kuljit Singh Ji if you're listening to this. Probably not. You're probably in a samadhi somewhere. And we was doing vichar on this Pankti as the days leading up to this Divan approached. And he said, it's interesting, Rakhya is here in the past tense. Guru Sahib is saying, they're teaching us the way, they're saying, I'm so happy. Tusi kirpa kar diti, kyun? Kidda? Because you've answered my brother's prayers. Rakhya mera pai. You've taken care of my brother. What kind of love is this? We often hear these words as a cliche. We say, oh, my prayers have been answered. You've all heard someone say that before, right? Or someone coming to us saying, I did an ardas and my prayers have been answered. What I was asking for, I've got. But has those words ever come into our lips that, oh, I'm so grateful to hear that my brother's ardas have been fulfilled? Are we so one-directed in our minds that all we can see are our own requests and supplications? Where's the sympathy and the empathy for the plight and the circumstance of another? Guru Govind kripa kari rakhya mera pai. The Guru is saying, yo, Maharaj, you've done kirpa. I've seen my brother's prayers fulfilled. Kaun jane peer parai, hum nahi chint purai. Kaun jane peer parai. Says the Guru, how can anybody know the pain of another? We think we love our children. Ultimately, if our child had a paper cut, we wouldn't even be able to feel that pain of our child. It's only theirs to bear, right? In the nature of this world. We're tied to our bodies, we're a slave only to our bodies in such a way is this the case that the prison of our bodies doesn't even allow us to feel the pain of another. No matter how close we might think that they actually are to us, the reality of this invisible bondage that we've tied ourselves to our world is we can't even look past our own prayers. Where is the loyalty in our actions? Guru Pyari Satsang Ji, in Sanskrit, in the Sanatan Dharam, there's a concept which we're going to talk about, and I do believe, well, I can't say I understand for certain, but I've never heard this spoken about in the Gurdwara before. And the concept is a Sanskrit concept called Mudita. It is to delight in other people's happiness. Mudita means, coming from the Sanatan Dharam, the old faith, to delight, to have vicarious joy. Vicarious meaning in another, to have vicarious joy that somebody else is so happy that that happiness becomes yours. Because we all sit together as one. And we say these words that we sit together as the Sangat. But it should be the case, my brothers, that when we see our brothers prospering, that their success is our success. It should be, our sisters, that when we see our sisters progressing, that when they succeed, it's our success. And in a rather crude way, I'm going to give a rather crude example. And I'm not advocating gambling here before somebody cuts a clip out here and puts it out on social media. If you played the lottery every single week, on those odds, right, of millions and millions to one, you may never win the lottery. If you play every single week, you may never win the lottery. But if we opened up our hearts and shared in the happiness of everybody around us, such that everybody else's victory is our own, every week someone wins the lottery. And if we had the philosophy of being happy when somebody won the lottery, as if we had won it, every week we would experience the joy of winning the lottery. That if you're struggling to conceive in your house a child, and you're caught up in that dukh, but every week one of our cousins, one of our friends is having a child, they're blessed in their own houses, that you should be blessed with a child, every week there will be a newborn in your house. To those that are struggling in that endeavor, I'm just speaking to any example that you can then relate to your own. The Guru is saying, Bhi Guru Govind kripa kari rakhya mera pai. That the Guru is giving us a subtle teaching here. They're saying that I believe that there's kirpa been done, that my brother's ardasa have been fulfilled. My brother's circumstances, his difficulties have been removed. There's been protection for him. Rakhya, who to? Not upon me, but upon my brother. If we don't start looking out for each other and sharing in each other's happinesses, then who should we regard as those that we consider good events to have occurred to or for? If we don't see the successes of our brothers as we sit in this darbar as our successes and not our competition, which is how it seems to be going down amongst some people these days, If we don't see each other's successes as our successes, then to whom are we reserving the right to be happy for? If we don't see our sisters' progression in their jivan, or in this worldly sense, as they get promoted, as they succeed in their worldly successes, if we are not looking to congratulate them, not just outwardly, but inwardly as well, and sit at home as we undertake our household chores thinking about them with a smile on our face, if we're not going to be loyal to the successes and the happinesses of our own, then who are we reserving the right to be happy for? What persons and people, other than those that sit in this darbar, should we be reserving our happiness for? There's so many examples where we're seeing about people competing with each other in the Guru's house, in Sangat, in business, and we should be supporting each other. And this understanding of Mudita really sets it free. This idea that we should delight, really delight in hearing the news of success of those around us as if it was our own. And even more, Sadsangaji, the sciences now are catching up with this. And the spirit sciences in particular, the metaphysical sciences, that when you are in a place of happiness and your frequency is attuned to gratitude not just for your own things that you've received, but the gratitude that you've seen everyone around you progress, that frequency aligns you, I should say, to receive even more. You'll notice that someone who's upset about life will always have a new reason to be upset about her life the next time round, because that frequency attracts negativity. It's like a downward spiral. The same is true upwardly, or in the language that we're most familiar with, we can say chardi. Everybody say chardi kala. We're so comfortable saying words in this world that we shouldn't be saying at all on the streets or in the football pitch. Yeah. When it comes to saying the language of the house of the Guru, everybody becomes so quiet. Everybody say chardi kala. Say growth. So growth mindset. Why Guru? These aren't curses. If there were curses, they would roll off the tongue so much more freely. Everybody say chardi kala. Say growth. Say happiness. Togetherness. Loyalty. Or we say vafadari. So this teaching of standing together and having loyalty, we have to foster this in our mind. It goes against everything we're being taught in a capital mindset, in a capitalist mindset. In a capitalist mindset, it's about getting ahead of everybody. But that presumption is based on a false assumption that there is not enough for everybody. The whole capitalist mindset is based on there being a finite amount of gold that we all need to try and reach. And so we've got to fight everybody off and keep the secrets to ourselves and get there. But for a good Sikh looking to reach the infinite Lord, whose gifts are infinite and never run out, why do we need to be applying the capitalist mindset that we've got to be beating everybody down? No. It's the inverse. In the house of the Guru, Langar challe gur shabata har todna ave khatiya. That in the house of the Guru Shabad will never run out. What is the Guru Shabad? The Guru Shabad is the form of God. Imagine an ocean of love that is so deep that its depths cannot even be known. Would you fight to preserve that just for yourself on the premise that you might go thirsty one day? And yet we operate with a worldly mindset that promotes disloyalty, discontent, and the opposite of brotherhood. And I want to share a Sakhi with you. This is one of my favorite parts of Itihas. And I heard this maybe a year or so ago, maybe before that as well. And I was thinking about the appropriate time to share this. This is probably one of my favorite parts of Itihas. It really holds me. And I'm so grateful to share this and not keep this and share this with the Sangat. There were two Kirtanis, two Gur Sikhs in the house. They were born in this world at the time of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and they were directed by Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj into the choli of Pailana Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. Guru Nanak Dev Ji gives the bakshish, they give the blessings that these Kirtanis, that they will serve you, keep them close. Their names were Satta and Balwand, Bhai Satta and Bhai Balwand. And so at the ushering of the greatest form of the Lord that has ever walked upon this earth, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj says Sat Bhajan Maharaj, and they take Bhai Satta and Balwand. And Satta and Balwand, their first Guru now is Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. They serve at the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, they do Kirtan. Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, they do Kirtan. Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj, they do Kirtan. Guru Ram Das Ji, and we're now going to the time of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. They will go on further still. We're going to stop now. At this point of history, which we're going to share about loyalty, we go to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. At the time of Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, Satta and Balwand, they approached Maharaj. They would do Kirtan at Darbar Sahib every day. And the Sangat would come and their Kirtan would resound in such a way that they would clutch the heart of the Sangat. And the Sangat held by Satta and Balwand in very high esteem. They were like respected in the house of the Guru. What happens is, by Satta, they come to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, and Balwand is accompanying him. They come to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj and they say to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, it's my daughter's wedding. We're asking you for a blessing. Can you give us the Maya that we can then arrange our daughter's affairs? And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, they say, leave it to me, I will arrange your daughter's affairs. But by Satta and Balwand, we can say, just like any of us, bless them, they, in a certain circumstance, they get taken by their own people persuading them, or praising them, I should say. And they say, no, Maharaj, look, I appreciate you're saying you'll take care of our affairs, but look, let me tell you what I want to do. When the Kirtan is undertaken this evening or today in the Darbar, whatever peta is left at the stage, let me take all of that peta that you give to me and Balwand, and let me just keep that for the day. Then it's job done. I can keep that peta and I haven't got to wait for you. What does the Guru say? What does Gyani Ji explain to us every day after Redas, after they do Aarti? They say, Thir kar beso, Harjan pyare Satguru tumre kaaj ware. They say, take this teaching into your heart. All you have to do is worry about doing Simran in your days. Are you doing Simran? If you install the Shabad in your heart and it becomes immovable, that you have to do it every day, Thir kar beso, Harjan pyare. If you do that, if you have love in your heart as a servant of God, Harjan pyare thir kar beso, in your heart, Satguru tumre kaaj ware, all your cards, all your worldly affairs, lead them to me. I'll take care of them. That's the Guru's teachings. But Satta and Balwand in this moment, they get taken. They say, Maharaj, no, look, do what we say. Let us have the peta for the Kirtan this day. Guru Arjan Dev Ji, they're like, well, look, if that's the way that you will it to be, then let it be this way. And what happens is that day it rains so much that very few Sangat come out to the Darbar. And very little peta is placed upon that place where the peta is placed before the Kirtanis. And Satta and Balwand, as they step forward to take that peta, they get completely angry, they get full of anger. That which where there's pride and disregard from the Guru will very quickly become anger. And they say, you've planned this, you arranged this, and you've undertaken these affairs, you've arranged it so that now there's no peta here, we're really annoyed with you. And Satta and Balwand, they chip. They leave Darbar Sahib and they go. The Guru is always forgiving. The Guru knows that we make mistakes. How many mistakes I've made today, only the Guru knows. Pullan andar sabko, apulla Guru kartar. Says the Guru, Pullan andar sabko. We all have so many mistakes. There's only two that are without mistakes. We do well to remember that as we judge whether we're worthy to make progress in the house of the Guru. We do well to remember that if we think ourselves as unworthy, making progress towards the Guru says, Pullan andar sabko. Everybody's made mistakes. A pull, the only one that has no mistakes is Guru and Kartar. Parameshwar Vaheguru and Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj in their 11th form, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Satta and Balwand, they've chipped, but Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, they still have the love in their heart. So what do? They send Baba Buddha Ji. They say, go and speak to Satta and Balwand. Baba Buddha Ji goes to speak to Satta and Balwand to remonstrate with them. And they go, we're not going to come back. Guru Sahib said, gal nahi mandi, ta hun aapa wapas nahi hona. Tell Guru whatever you want, we're not going to come back. Guru Maharaj sends another. The next day, they don't come to do Kirtan. Guru Arjan Dev Ji aap, they go and they sambal the seva and they sit down and they're doing Kirtan. Guru Arjan Dev Ji's Kirtan is by no means a substitute. Listen to Akal Purakh do Kirtan at Darbar Sahib, what blessings must have those been? And even that was probably part of the play of the Guru. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj would do the Kirtan that next day and they would send another Gursikh to go and see Satta and Balwand. Even then they won't come back. So what happens? Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj they get up and they walk to Satta and Balwand. The Guru is now going to see Satta and Balwand. We say that so quickly, but the detail is hidden, the beauty is hidden in this. That even if we move away from the Guru, if our heart is open, even if we make mistakes and we've moved away from the Guru, but we've kept our gaze. If we've moved away from the Guru and we've done silly things, but we've kept the nishanya of the Guru will still come looking for you. this is the Sikhi that I take from what Satta Balwand situation now is. Guru Arjan Dev Ji goes to see Satta Balwand. They're so consumed with ego now and anger about being embarrassed by the shortage of the peta that was offered. They start disrespecting Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. They say, you disrespected me. They start giving insults to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj said, look, don't worry about what you said. Come back, come back, come back. But then they go, Sadh Sangat Ji, they go one step too far. They go one step too far, and Satta and Balwand, Maaf Karna Sadh Sangat Ji, they say something that I hope we never even think in our minds. Satta and Balwand, they say your house is only as high as it is because of the rabab of our kirtan. That if it wasn't for us, your house wouldn't be what it is. The house of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj wouldn't be held in that place of man that is now regarded. It's only because of the rabab of Bhai Mardana, of our lineage, of our people, of our kirtan, that your house is even regarded. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, they take a different turn at this point. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, they take a different turn and they say, you've gone too far now. You've just done the nindya of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Now, you are outside of my house. You are not recognized in my house, and I will give this hukum now that no Gursikh will associate with you. That if I find any Gursikhs that still speak to you after you've disregarded the house of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, be that person who associates with you, they will be made to mount a donkey and to ride around the village. We will blacken their face with tar. We'll put shoes around their necks, which is like a way of insulting someone at that time. To put dirty shoes around someone's neck and to blacken someone's face, it was like a stigma, it was like being branded. You will blacken that person's face, we'll make them ride around with a donkey, and they will have to call out their shortcomings. Satta and Balwand are like, we don't really care. We don't care. We're the Kirtanis. Do you know who we are? Even then, in this moment, they didn't see the tragedy of their circumstance. Satta and Balwand, they go on and they're doing Kirtan. People are coming to see them. After a while, the hukum of Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj gets to be known by everybody at Amritsar. And people get to realize we don't want to be associated. They stop going to see Satta and Balwand. Satta and Balwand, their name goes down. And their peta, all of their wealth gets used up. They become destitute. Financially, they're in a very difficult situation. Even worse still, having done Nindya at the house of the Guru, which is a topic in its own right, Nindya, meaning to do slander, to talk behind someone's back in a negative way, to say untrue things that are going to cause a person reputation damage, if you will. Yeah, libel, defamation, these things which we talk about in the West. Because they've done Nindya, they've now developed a disease. The disease is not named, but the description of the disease is like a skin disease, like akin to leprosy. The skin gets covered in this like horrible disease. And nobody even wants to go near Satta and Balwand. The way that it's described in Guru Pratap Suraj Granth by Kavi Santokh Singh Ji is that Satta and Balwand are covered in this disease. They've got no money. They're on the streets. And even the homeless people on the streets are like, we don't want to be near you. Because we don't want to be seen to be near you. Perchance we get the saja, the punishment that comes from disobeying the hukum of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. Satta and Balwand, they're in a difficult place, man. They're suffering now. What to do? What to do in this situation? Satta and Balwand's situation is a situation that physically none of us have ever been in. But often as we look into our days, we feel like we've got problems. How can I talk to somebody about my problems? How am I going to overcome this? Maaf Karna Sadh Sangat Ji, we hear about people who take the most, it's such a painful step that we hear about people committing suicide, and they talk about how they could not see a way out from their situation. And it's for these situations of our own problems, of our own days, that we keep as demons, as we smile outwardly, but we're dealing with our own difficulties every day. It's for those situations that this itihas speaks. This history speaks to our own circumstances. We haven't done Nindya of the house of Guru Nanak Dev Ji to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, but we are carrying burdens that how am I going to come through this? Who do I speak to? What brother is there that's going to back me in this situation? Bhai Satta and Bhai Balwand, they speak to a Gursikh. They say, you should go and see Bhai Ladda Ji. There's a Gursikh called Bhai Ladda Ji. Go and see Bhai Ladda Ji. Bhai Ladda Ji, they live in Lahore. So you all know the geography 45 minutes by car. You can work out by foot, by Satta Balwand. They walk all the way to Baladaji. When Baladaji in Lahore, they look upon Satta Balwand, they get completely taken by emotion. They go, you are my brothers. Go, look at your situation. Because you are the Kirtanis of the house of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj would have you in their company as you would recite the Shabads, but you're the Kirtani of the house of Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj. But how can you be in a situation? Baladaji saw their pain as his own. He goes, I can't bear looking at you. And he would look at his brothers, he would embrace them from his heart. They say, I can't have this, that my brothers are in the gutter. They go, come with me, man. Let's go and see Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. They said, no, you can't be seen with us, man. If you get seen with me, says Bhai Satta, Bhai Balwand, you're going to have to suffer such a consequence. The Guru has made it clear that anybody that associates with us, they're cut. They're finished. Bhai Laddaji goes, come with me. Because you're my brothers, man. Because I can't have you like this. Because having you like this, I'm cut anyway. To see my brothers suffering, to see them out and out, it's me out and out anyway. What can happen to me? Bhai Laddaji, what do? They go and find a donkey. They climb upon the donkey. They get tar, big, thick, black tar. They cover their own face in tar. They get the shoes of the Sangha. They wrap them around their own neck. This one who is held in such high esteem, this respected Gursikh, whose name is known all the way from Lahore to Amritsar for Satta Balwand to seek out. And they ride that donkey all the way from Lahore to Amritsar, calling out that they're the puppy. Ma papi, I'm the one that has disobeyed the Guru. They do their own besti, if you want to put it in the ways of the Sajja as it was intended, the hukum as it was intended. When they get to the Darbar, so there's so much commotion, there's so much commotion, there's so much ronak, that Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, they come from the Darbar and they say they see their beloved, their most beautiful Gursikh Bhai Laddaji. They say, what has happened to you? They say, because I can never go against your hukum. Your hukum is atal. Your hukum is immovable, it's unshakable. You are the base of the universe. I can never have it be said that your hukum was not so. And I can never be the one that is varod, that is opposite, that is in opposition to your hukum. So, but equally, Maharaj, I couldn't see my brothers on the street, man. I couldn't see them suffering. So what to do? But to stand for my brothers, but to man your hukum. But I didn't want you to have to undertake that seva. I did it myself, Maharaj. Maharaj, please, you're asking about me, forget me, forgive my brothers. Tusi eda laaj rakh. Maharaj, kirpa karo. Guru Govinda kripa kari rakhya mera pai. Guru Govinda, this isn't what Guru Arjan did, this isn't what Bhai Laddaji said, but it's the words of their heart. It completely encapsulates their heart. Guru Govinda kripa kari rakhya mera pai bhi. Maharaj, do kirpa, let it be the case that this situation is resolved. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, they embrace Bhai Laddaji. They say that they take their own parna and they wipe the tar from the face of Bhai Laddaji. Are they wiping the tar from the face of Bhai Laddaji? Or are they removing every single obstacle that would ever exist between Bhai Laddaji's Garam and Parmeshwar Vaheguru? Are they wiping, is it tar that was ever on their face? Was there ever any attribution of negativity on their face in the first instance? Or were they the perfect Gursikh? Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, Bhai Laddaji is giving us his teaching. Even if we disagree, or if our mind finds a reason not to back your people, tell your mind to be quiet. There were many between Amritsar and Lahore that would have said, there's many reasons to stay away from Bhai Satta and Balwand, namely the Guru's hukum. But are they getting their faces wiped by the parna of the Guru? Is Bhai Laddaji's name remembered to this day in the house of the Guru? Or is it all those that were walked past that saw Bhai Laddaji on the donkey? Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, what is loyalty to me? As we undertook the Korj, as we come together today, loyalty to me is when we make a sacrifice for those whose upkeeping is within our control to put up. And that's for all of us to think. We can all improve the condition of those around us if we have loyalty in our hearts. Beyond ourselves. Loyalty is a very funny word. Loyalty to yourself is just selfishness. But when you have loyalty for another, it's selflessness. Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, Bhai Ladda Ji would give this teaching just to complete this itihas, to complete this Sakhi. For me, Bhai Ladda Ji is the perfect Gurmukh. Bhai Ladda Ji may not have wielded a sword on the battlefield, but they're the perfect warrior. For Guru Arjan Dev Ji also gave us the Mangal that we started this Gatha today on. Guru Arjan Dev Ji would say, Bija ko har rang lago is jug mein, so kahiyat hai sura. They would say, is jug mein, in this dark age of Kaljug, you want to know who a true warrior is? Without lifting a single sword, Bhai Ladda Ji has given us the example. Jako har rang lago is jug mein, so kahiyat hai sura. The Guru says, in this dark age of Kaljug, where everybody is self-obsessed and loyalty, Dharma Pankakad Udriya has taken wings and flown away. A true warrior in this dark age of Kaljug is that one who within their heart has love for the name of God. And how can we have love in our heart for the name of God? We haven't even got love or loyalty for the Sangat. They go hand in hand. There's no selfish person that's putting the Sangat behind them that is going to go home with a clean heart and meditate on the name of God. Sant ki seva namati aiye. Says Guru Arjan Dev Ji again. Sant ka sang vadbhagi paiye, sant ki seva namati aiye. The Guru is giving us these examples that you're lucky to be in the Sangat, to serve the Sangat, is to do Simran. It's the same full is how you can go about having the qualities to do Simran. So Bhai Ladda Ji is teaching us, back your people, man. Even if their situation is such that to put your arm around them might end up with dirty clothes, that to look upon their face might end up with tar upon your own, so be it. We have to learn to stand with our people. And we're constantly being told of reasons from those that are nindaks as to why we shouldn't. And they complicate the situation because they enter your mind and they give you all the reasons why you should stay away from Satta and Balwand. Satta and Balwand are all of us making mistakes. It's funny how we remember everybody's mistakes and have a reason to blank them, to knock them, not to support them. We don't remember anybody's victories or small efforts, and how we should stand with those reasons as opposed to the negative ones. I heard it said by a great Gursikh, an elder brother of mine. He said, if you agree with someone in the Panth, 6 out of 10, I think it was 6 out of 10, back them 10 out of 10. If you agree with someone 6 out of 10, means the stars haven't perfectly aligned. There's someone in the Panth trying to do something. It's not quite where you want to be or what you think should be happening. Give them your 10. Because from that, something even more beautiful is created. Beyond their efforts, beyond that person, beyond your support and your person. Because when one and one come together, aapa kehndे Punjabi de vich ek ta ek 11 ban gaya. When two come together, in English it's 1 and 1 is 2. But in Punjabi, when we say when 1 and 1 come together, the force of that is 11. Sad Sangat Ji, in this dark age of Kaljug, it's always the worst example of a Gyani that we see flying across social media. We're so quick to share that. But how often do we speak to our brothers and sisters about the love and the Sikhya that 99.9% of the teachings of our Gyanis share with us? But it's that one Gyani that you've heard about from some place in somewhere. I'm not going to say a name, perchance that will come back to me. But the point being is this. That's an example of where our thoughts go. We're loyal only to the worst aspects of each other. We make sure that we're loyal to that to the point that the Gatha is always renewed. Why? Who are we serving? Who are we reserving the opportunity to stand toe-to-toe with and have loyalty? One of my teachers, one of my Vidya Ustads, I'm very lucky to have a Shastra Vidya teacher who teaches me Sila. He's an Englishman, in fact. And after training one day in Yorkshire, he sat us down in a circle. This is just for the Singhs, really. And he said, the reason that we're so close is because there's a group of us that train together, and I'm really grateful to be part of that brotherhood. And he said the reason that you're so close is the energy that you release when you stand toe to toe with someone, either on the battlefield, well, we'll go with the battlefield right now. When you stand toe to toe with someone and you look to your left and you look to your right in whatever that situation might be, and you say, I stand with you. Because in that fire that you're facing is forged a brotherhood in loyalty that you can't express with words like I love you or I really like you. Because it's the udaran of that situation, it's the example of that situation that means you will always be familiar with each other in that situation if it presents itself again. And he said, we're not on a battlefield, but we deal in the art of the knife, of the blade. And so when we train together, it's as close to that as we're going to be in a battlefield, which is why you look at each other with so much love. And I thought that was really interesting, that what we're talking about is an energy. And loyalty, standing together, isn't a word. It's an energy, it's a way of being. And if you have any friends that have shown loyalty to you, I make this suggestion that if we haven't already in our actions, and our actions can be words too, but they can be more than words, in our actions, we should express gratitude. For loyal friends make the best friends. Bhai Laddaji is the perfect warrior. They're the perfect Gursikh. They're the epitome of loyalty. For they put themselves second, they put their own face second, and they put Bhai Satta and Balwand first. They said, I'll stand with you, even if it's to my detriment, even if I've got to go against my Guru, even if I lose everything, I am at the feet of the Sangat of the Guru. And for that place to stand in, they were elevated to the highest place. They will forever be immortalized in our itihas. Going back to that itihas, Sadh Sangat Ji, at the request, at the supplication, at the prayer of Bhai Laddaji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji turns to Satta and Balwand. They say, you have disrespected the house of the Guru. You've done nindya of the house of the Guru. But Bhai Laddaji speaks for you. So now I listen to you. You have my ear at the request of the Sangat of the Guru. Bhai Laddaji speaks for you. And if you want to find your way back into the house of the Guru, the way back into the house of the Guru is you must now sing the praises of that which you slandered. You write such a shabad that is worthy of the praises, that sings the praises of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, Guru Angad Dev Ji, Guru Amar Das Ji and Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj. And so it was at the bhajan of Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj that Satta and Balwand were brought back into that pant that they were sent away from by the sacrifice and the loyalty and the brotherhood of Bhai Laddaji. And they would compose such a shabad, or let me rephrase that, from the heavens, Turki Bani Ai, that says the Guru, we speak the words of the Guru, be Turki Bani Ai, from the heavens, that as the heavens would open, and from those heavens, what shabad would come down through Satta and Balwand? The shabad of Ramkali Ki Var. You'll have heard this pankti many, many times. Hove sifat kasambdi, nur arsoh kursoh chattiye, to the dithe sache paatshah, mal janam janam di kattiye. This is from that shabad that was commanded to be brought from the heavens by Guru Arjan Dev Ji and Satta and Balwand. They write this, Ramkali Ki Var. And in that shabad is this pankti. And why I want to share this pankti with you is Satta and Balwand, in this pankti, they're now directing their minds as they're thinking what to share with the Sangat, what shabads to present to the Guru that they didn't know was going to be immortalized in the Guru forever. They think back to their roots. What do? They go back to where they came from. They go, we want to get back to the house of the Guru. What was it like then in the house when it all began for us? We go full circle back to when Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj would give them to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. And they're describing now what it was like sitting in the company of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, just as we sit before them now. And they say, Hove sifat kasambdi, nur arso kurso chattiye, to the dithe sache paatshah, mal janam janam di kattiye. They say it was like the heavens was opening when we sang your praises. As we sing the praises of my master Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, nur arsoh kursoh chattiye. It was like the heavens opened and the light would come down upon you to the ditte sache paatshah, just to look upon your face, mala janam janam di katti hai. Just by looking upon the Guru, says Satta Balwand, just to look upon Guru Angad Dev Ji again, take me back there. Satta Balwand are saying to themselves, just to look upon the Guru, to the ditte sache paatshah, mala janam janam di katti hai, that lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of male, of dirt, of paap, of sins were wiped away. This is what it means to have darshan of the Guru. This is what it means to sit in Dalpant mentality. As we sit in the Sangat of the Guru, we're the army of the Guru. Guru Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, we need to remember where we come from. We can only be loyal to our source if we remember where we come from, if we take steps to go back there. You can only be loyal to your team if you know your team. You can only be loyal to our Guru and the Guru Sangat if we start having a little bit of sadhkar, if we open up our heart. We know so much about the ways of the world. Let's find out about the ways of the Sangat. Let's listen to Sukhmani Sadapart. From that we will get the ways of the Sangat. Let's listen to the Bani of the Guru, and then we'll fall in love with the Guru. Then loyalty is not a difficult thing. It's easy to be loyal to one that you're in love with. The reason why we struggle with loyalty to the Sangat, we don't know the Mahatma of the Sangat. If we were to know that Guru Nanak Dev Ji has said that the door to the house of God is found in the Sangat, then we'll have loyalty for the Sangat. And it's true. Vich Sangata Hara Prabha Vartata Bujjoho Shabad Vichar. If we were to know that if you can't see a door in the Sangat, you just see people sitting here, that the way to be able to see the door in the Sangat is to do Shabad Koj Bujjoho Shabad Vichar, then now we've got loyalty to the Shabad. My friends, it's easy to have loyalty to that place where we have love and an understanding of its greatness. It's very hard to have loyalty to a place that we don't understand the Mahatma of that place. Sad Sangat Ji, it's really important that we have this teaching, that we share this teaching with our children. Loyalty, shukrana, gratitude, and the greatness of the Guru's house are all there to be given as gifts if we can engage ourselves in that practice of remembering where we come from. And I'm going to give another example. I'm going to give a worldly example to my detriment, but we are happy to put our own shortcomings and mistakes before the Sangat, and then you can forgive me and you can laugh at my own shortcomings, per chance that if you find yourself in these situations, you don't make the mistakes that I did. I remember having just come out of, I just finished postgraduate law school, and I was on my training contract. I'm going to just share this with you. It's a personal teaching that I've had. It really has shaped my life. And it's a mistake that I nearly made, and I'm so grateful to one who has taught me this. I'd finished my postgraduate law, LPC they call it, and I was starting what you call a training contract. You got to do a training contract. It's basically after you do your postgraduate course, you have to spend 2 years studying underneath a lawyer, and for 2 years you're basically their understudy. You go to court with them and you just learn everything that they do, and you do all of the work that they ask you to do, and you're on sort of a training wage and it's a training contract, and you've got to do that, and then at the end of that you get signed off and you can become a fully fledged lawyer. And what happened was, I'd just recently gotten married. I'd had a young child. I think Sadhi was about a couple of months old then. And as 20 months had approached, I hadn't had a letter from the Law Society. And I realized that my training principal, the guy who's supposed to sign all those contracts 2 years ago, they'd forgotten to file my papers at the Law Society 2 years earlier. So it was the case that I was going to have to start that 2-year course all over again and stay on minimum wage another 2 years of time, just doing really, really frustrating, like menial administrative work. And I was sitting at home with my dad, and I was talking really ill of this man, and I was saying, I'm going to do this to this guy. I can't tell you exactly what I was saying because I'm embarrassed, to be fair, and also in the house of the Guru I get banned from next month's Gatha if I use the language I actually used. I was like, when I see him, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You can fill in the gaps. I was like, how dare he do this? How dare he not do my paperwork? And all of these sorts of things were coming out of my mouth. My dad was sitting there and he was eating his food at the table. And my dad's he's a very hard, he's just a typical East End businessman. He's very, very straight to the point, and he's got a very principled stance on the things that he's got a stance on. And he's sitting very quietly, and I'm not reading him, and I'm thinking to myself, he's listening to me, he's obviously not interrupting me, he's happy with what I'm saying. And after about 3-4 minutes of me saying more and more insults and gala kadding and all these things, He says to me, Amandeep, I said, yeah. He goes, shut up. I said, why are you telling me to? I've not done anything wrong. I've done everything. I've done 2 years of work. I'm about to qualify. I'm going to start. And I started reiterating the whole story as if you hadn't heard it. He goes, I just told you to be quiet. And I was completely confused. And I would learn one of the most important lessons of my adult life. He said to me, boy, has anybody else given you a chance? Anybody else lining up to give you a contract? Give you a chance? Anybody else taking a chance to have to sit with you for 2 years? And have to suffer the need to correct your mistakes and suffer your inexperience and teach you over and over again what it means to be a properly qualified. Anybody else lining up to take you on? Training contracts are very hard to come by. I said, no, because that man is your guru. That man has stood by you over many others. He saw a quality in you that nobody else saw. All right, he's made a mistake. You're going to write to the Law Society because we sort it out, he said. We sort it out. And obviously it got sorted out. I had to go for an interview and it got sorted out. He goes, but never, ever, ever forget the man that helps you. Because how dare you insult at this dinner table the man give you a chance? And I thought, what a teaching is this? Where are these teachings if we don't have them in the Sangha today? If we don't have them at our own dinner tables? It's all about telling our children how entitled they are. And we should be saying to our children, you should be grateful for the teachings that you have from those teachers that you have. And sitting at parents' evening with the teachers today, they say we're scared to tell our children in our classrooms that they're wrong. That they're going to go tell their parents. We're going to get told off for telling off the children. Because nobody's willing to lay down for the truth. Everybody's so everybody's so disloyal to the truth. And so Sadh Sangat Ji, I thought that was a really wonderful teaching. It would shape, and I'm so grateful to that berating that I took from my father that day, because he would send me on a path of gratitude. That meant that every time I was before a teacher subsequently, as I would come onto this path of the Guru, and I'm still many steps behind most of you, it meant that I would approach that teacher from a place of shukrana and show that respect. And I believe that way that we show respect to our people is a form of loyalty, is loyalty in fact. So Sadh Sangat Ji, how can we apply this? When we see the Gyani in the Guru Ghar and we ask the Gyani to do our Adasa, when we see the Gyani on the stairs, when we see our brothers who might know more than us, let's show that respect to them and let's have that loyalty that if we see somebody that we can help, it's our opportunity to prove our fortitude. It's our opportunity to do that ardas for somebody else rather than just reserving our ardasa just for ourselves. So Sadh Sangat Ji, we're going to just finish up. Time has gone so quick. There's always so much more that I prepare. So naive am I every week as I come here with all these things prepared, and time always is against us. It's like Kaljug is tapping on the minute clock, just speeding it along. There's always so much more to share with the Sangat. For the Guru's itihas is overflowing. Parapura pakende in Gurumukhi. It's like overflowing. What I want to do, Sadh Sangat Ji, in these last few minutes that we have is just to close your eyes. In your own mind, just think of Bhai Laddaji. We're going to speak for and to Bhai Laddaji right now. Bhai Laddaji, you are the one that has the courage to stand up for those that everybody else has forsaken. Bhai Laddaji, you are the one that didn't fall foul to your mind when there was every right to walk away. Bhai Laddaji, you are the form of loyalty. And what we're going to do, Sadh Sangat Ji, we're going to recite the Guru's mantra just 5 times. And in our hearts, we're going to think about to whom our loyalty is really needed to be directed. Who is it that we are not giving that loyalty to that we should? Who is it that's made a mistake that we need to forgive? Who is it that we need to let know that we stand with you and I'm going to back you? That we're going to, rather than look to others, we're going to be that example in other people's lives. That we're going to be the bricks just below the level of the ground. It's the bricks just below the level of the ground. That's the foundation. It's the strength of those bricks that hold the whole building up. Who is it that we're going to show loyalty to? And in this way, immeasurably, the strength of the panth will become times by the power of 10. Sad Sangat Ji, we look for loyalty in every relationship around us. Let's express that loyalty. Let's set that example in every relationship around us and see how that magnifies back to us. Sangat Ji, let's remember the people that have helped us. Let's show gratitude to the people that have helped us. Let's be loyal to those that need us, and in this way create a strength and a foundation in the Panth that will mean that nobody will ever leave this place. People only leave a place of weakness. Let's stand together and in this way create that place where the fragrance is so beautiful that through the fragrance of loyalty, we are experiencing the bliss of each other's success. That we celebrate each week as each and every one of us win a different lottery in a different way as our own, and in this way create a fragrance and a frequency of success that each and every one of our successes is our own. That's Dal Panth mentality, where one victory is all victories. So Sad Sangat Ji, we've spoken today about Paladda Ji. We've mentioned that gift of that gun of Wafadari, that gift of what it means to be one who's loyal. You are the Sangat of the Guru. I must have made many mistakes. I ask for your forgiveness and your blessings. The next Gatha will be back on track on the first Thursday of the month. So Sad Sangat Ji, once again, thank you for your forgiveness of any mistakes I've made. I beg of you for your forgiveness. We lekhe kathara shutti hai khin khin pulan har baksle nanak paaryo tar. Vaheguru Ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki fateh.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.